have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field. That consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field. That consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's game between Loyola and your Archbishop Spalding Cavaliers. The MIAA encourages and promotes sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. Offensive language including profanity, racial or ethnic slurs, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated. Now please stand, gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
From Whittlesfield, this is Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse. Today, the MIAA JV Championship as the Cavaliers host the Dons of Loyola Blakefield. Glenn Clark alongside Coach Sean Cottle. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for today's game, and we begin with the visitors from Loyola Blakefield. On the attack, Mikey Boyle with Cooper Pascoe and Matthew Kearing in the midfield. Bruce Llewellyn, face-off specialist Laird Nugent, and Reed Verner with the long pole. Defensively, James Luckish, as well as Tyler McCautry and Demetrios Madden. And in goal, Jesse D'Alonson. And for the Cavaliers, starters today on the attack, we find Grady Swiderski as well as Ryan Sullivan and Landon Adelman. In the midfield, the face-off specialist is Cooper Johnson. He's joined by Brooks Chernesky as well as Colin Olson. Defensively, Sean Johnson, Aiden Reinecker, and Zach Philpott. And in goal, Bo Wardell. Sean, great to see you, first of all. What an atmosphere here for the JV Championship at Whittlesfield. It feels like a championship Monday here in the MIAA. This is a very talented, undefeated Spalding team. What have they done to get to this point where they're playing for a title?
Yeah, absolutely. You said it, Glenn. It's a perfect day here at Archbishop Spalding. You know, you have two great JV teams going at it. Previously it was a 10-2 victory for Spalding over Loyola, but there was biblically like winds and rain last time they played. We're expecting a much sharper effort from Loyola in this game and a much closer game.
Yeah, I know you said there was reasonably that game just a couple of weeks ago on April 28th. So again, you would think that perhaps that means that the Cavaliers have the upper hand, but as Sean was explaining, the weather was miserable, and it's going to be Don's ball to start the game. Imagine there's a few jitters. It's the JV championship, but it's the championship. I imagine there's a little bit of that you have to work through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Alex Kessler all week has been telling to the Spalding Cavaliers that, this is their moment to finish it. 13-0 season. Loyola's only loss of the season was to Spalding at that aforementioned game. So we have two of the best JV teams in the country going at it right now.
Yeah, Loyola comes in 10-1. They got a 6-5 win over St. Mary's in the semifinals on Thursday. Spalding, as we mentioned, undefeated, 13-0 on the year. They beat McDonough 9-8 in the semifinals on Thursday, and they've been playing some close games, Sean. 4 of the last 5 games determined by 1 goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Learning how to win in this JV era is so important for their future varsity careers.
3 Cavaliers, but no one able to get the ball out. It stays in Pasco's stick. Down to 20 seconds on the possession clock for this Don's opening possession. Fake from Johnny Sipple. Now he sends it back behind. 10 seconds. Fired back up top. That shot wide off the stick of Llewellyn, and it's going to be belong to the Cavaliers.
Good backup there by the goalie, Bo Wardell. Bo's had a great season for the Cavs in net. He's just been steady in the clearing game and ball stopping. So I'm excited to see how Spalding answers that first possession from Loyola.
Quick clear to Boots, the first possession of the day for the Cavaliers, and racing it all the way in is Blake Howe, and now he'll settle up. There's a lot of excitement. And JV lacrosse is different everywhere, Sean, but this is a team with players that you believe are going to be able to be impactful for you guys on the varsity level in the coming season.
Yeah, absolutely. Just coaching here at Spalding, if you're not going to play at the varsity level, we want you to develop here on JV. And that's kind of, you're seeing this great development from a lot of these kids. The future is bright here at Archbishop Spalding. Running
shot by Blair, turned aside. Swiderski does well to come away with it, sets it back up top, but it's back on the turf. Battle for it continues. And it's going to belong to Loyola as the long pole of James Luckish is able to pick it up. Got a pretty good look, but felt like they should be able to do more with that possession.
Yeah, it was a great ground ball by number 0, Grady Swiderski, and he found Brody Moss on the skip pass. Brody had time and room there. He elected for trying to get something a little bit better, but I would have stepped in and ripped that one.
So Don's second possession of the game. Caring had a step, moves it inside. Good slides. Cavaliers able to regroup, and then a bit of a communication issue there for the Dons. Fortunate they didn't turn it over in the process. Sipple will slow it down, let his teammates get out there with him. Now he makes the move. Sipple, who's got a big frame, sends it over to Boyle. Boyle sends it back to X. Operating, Pasco. Pasco being defended by Reinecker. Now back up top. Second midfield in. Oh, great trail check. Alex Heil gets it on the turf. Still being fought for, and it's going to come away to the Cavaliers as Trent Blatchy picks up the ground ball.
Yeah, Elliot Danielson, number 1 there in white, made a great play to dislodge the ball. He's kind of an offensive midi that they're trying out at the defensive midi position, so it's really good to see him out there versatile in both offense and defense as he's
I do have to apologize. You got me. I read the wrong names, looked at the wrong roster. It's my fault. Danielson, of course. Luke Doyle was the one who came away with the ground ball. We'll get it cleaned up. I promise you. Promise you we'll clean it up moving forward. But an excellent cause turnover from Danielson. However, Cavaliers give it right back.
Now, if you're Spalding, you've played a lot of defense in this initial first quarter, so it's important to get a stop, get the ball on the other end, and kind of settle it down on offense, get a good long possession so your defense can rest. It's a long game here, Glenn.
Llewellyn's pass knocked down. He's able to get it back as he had Danielson all over him. I'll slow it down. Lots of time, still 35 on the possession clock as Boyle sends it back behind. Sipple trying to use that big frame in order to create advantage. Moves it up top, and that's going to be the opening goal of the contest for Bruce Llewellyn. Llewellyn from Sipple, 1-0 Dons. And after the struggle that they had the last time they were here, you imagine that's got to feel good for them to get on the board first.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a right-handed drive by Sipple, and you see the defense kind of showed and didn't slide. I would full slide to Sipple so you can rotate off of that. They kind of got caught in no man's land there.
Bryce Llewellyn scores his first of the day. 5:34 remaining in the first quarter. 1-0 Loyola, but a face-off win for the Cavaliers. An opportunity to push. Howe got it out, but then it'll be slowed down. Sullivan decides to wait for his guys to get out there with him. And I think after a long defensive effort, that's the right decision. No reason to be trying to push anything. Settle it down. Give your defense a break.
Absolutely, settle it down. It was a great ground ball there by number 25, Blake Howe. You know, talking to Coach Kessler, he's been a really nice surprise for Spalding at the defensive midi position. You know, he's played a lot, and especially with the injury to number 22, Luke Farley, he'll be counted on more today.
Zervalek sends it back over to the middle. A couple of fakes from Aiden Treff. That next group out there gets it inside. Swiderski in a bit of trouble out there with McCautry all over him. We did an unbelievable job to keep that ball on his stick. Sean, you said Swiderski's worth the price of admission. It's taken away from Zervalek. And it's going to come away to the Dons as Cusson comes up with it. R.J. Cusson with the ground ball. But I saw exactly what you were telling me about beforehand with Swiderski's size. He's just able to knife through certain situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 0, Grady Swiderski. You know, I'm not sure if his height begins with a 4 or 5, but he plays like he's 6'4" with confidence, and he's just one of the best kids to have in this program here.
Next midfield out there for Loyola, already leading 1-0. It's ticked towards 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. A hands free, but that's not on target from Pasco. Kept in. Boyle sends it back up top. Looking for a shot, but being given no space, and that's awkward off Rayleigh's stick. Backup is there. Still 28 on the possession clock for Loyola, and nearly thrown away. It will get back near midfield, and indeed over and back.
Glenn, something to note just to watch is new to the MIAA this year, there are now 3 officials for all MIAA JV games. It used to just be 2. Now having 3, especially in a championship game, will make sure it's a clean and well-officiated game. I'm really glad the MIAA decided to do that.
I imagine you were never upset about the lack of a 3rd official when you were coaching at this level.
No, I wasn't. No, never.
No, not once. Never did you think to yourself, boy, if there was only one more guy out there, perhaps we would have gotten that call right.
No, absolutely. It's just a good thing for the league in general.
No doubt about it. Carson Blair operating for the Cavaliers. George back there with them. That's back on the turf. A little sloppy from Spalding in the early going of this one. Again, maybe some of those championship jitters. Ryan Sullivan leads the team in everything. Goals, assists, points. 25, 11, 36 respectively on the season. Back up top to Blair. Blair gets his hands free. That's a nice save. D'Alonzon makes his first save of the game. It's back on the turf, however, and picked up. Some trouble, though, and it's turned back over after Johnson came up with the ground ball.
And a little sloppy here early, Glenn, like you alluded to. You know, Carson Blair did a good job with that right-handed sweep, but then just didn't place the shot. You know, he sprinted back to try to dislodge the ball. He had success, but then another fail clear here for Spalding.
And Sean Johnson had a free ground ball, but ended up losing his footing and was just looking for some help and couldn't find any. Turns it right back over. Loyola trying to make it 2-0 here in the first quarter. Good move to get free. Mosler. Ball comes out. Boy, somehow Rayleigh holds on to it through a mess of bodies. Works it back, and Mossier picks it back up.
And Loyola's doing a good job on the ground. It seems like every 50-50 ground ball is coming up royal blue, so that's a good sign if you're a Loyola Don early.
Cento with Chernesky on him. Cento trying to get free, gets inside, had no angle, and was in the crease anyway. So go back the way of Spalding, looking for a late goal here in the first quarter.
It was really good defense by number 18, Brooks Chernesky. You know, not the biggest guy, but he certainly has, you know, a lot of fight to him. I thought he was one of the best players on the field in their semifinal game against McDonough. Ground balls, takeaways, and push and transition. You know, that's kind of what this Spalding team does is they try to put defense into offense.
That's too tall for Chernesky, and a turnover. Back the way of the Dons. And boy, just when I was about to say this feels like an important possession, opportunity to settle things here before the quarter is over, and it goes back the other way. Loyola gets it back. There's about a 1 second difference between shot clock and play clock. Ball's on the turf again, opportunity, and again just a sloppy play that leads to a turnover. Philpott pushes it, numbers, but losing his footing. That's unfortunate, worse because Swiderski is still down, and they stopped play because Swiderski was hurt.
I believe a late flag actually came in.
Okay.
So Swiderski had a kind of a breakaway. I think they're going to get him with a late hold or a trip.
The trip would explain him losing his footing. I thought maybe he just got tangled up with the turf monster for a second, but a trip would go a long way to explaining it and would give Spalding their first man up. So there you go.
Looks to be a minute foul, so we're 57.7. So if Spalding has possession at the end of the quarter, they will have the ball.
I would think, though, with just 2 seconds left at that point.
Oh, absolutely. You're running your full bag of tricks right here to try to get a goal.
Penalties on McCautry. It is indeed a 60-second penalty.
Now, Loyola is electing to shut number 3 in white, Adam Schwab. Adam Schwab, who had 5 goals against Loyola last time they played. So they're throwing in a little scouting wrinkle here.
Taking him away. Now, you would think that would open things up for your shooters, however, otherwise.
Right, you're playing 5-on-4 instead of 6-on-5. So cut to the middle.
Oh, that's the look that you want, and there, that's really unfortunate. Moss couldn't get it on Cage, and then Schwab was going for the ground ball, doesn't come up with it, and the backup belongs to the Dons.
Right, and that's kind of like a JV learning experience right there. You know that that's a shot. Adam Schwab has to be the first one to the end line.
Great effort by Adelman to get the ball out. Ground ball picked back up by Swiderski. 24 seconds remaining in the quarter. Another opportunity for Spalding here on the extra man. 18 seconds. Swiderski swings it out. They got to move. 8 seconds. And a rifle of a shot that's not on target with 4 seconds remaining. They just had to get something going. And now you simply hold on, and as that's wide off the stick of Sullivan. That'll be how the quarter comes to a close. Sloppy first quarter. After 12 minutes, Loyola's in front, 1-0. You're watching the MIAA JV Championship.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
One quarter down here at Whittles Field. Loyola in front of Spalding 1-0 in the 2023 MIAA JV Championship. Glenn Clark alongside Sean Cottle. Sean looked like a nervy first quarter, just not sharp. And again, we remember we're watching JV Lacrosse, so that tells the story sometimes. But for a team that has played so well all season long, I would say they probably are trying to shake off that first quarter and say, let's get back to playing Spalding Lacrosse.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Offense sold separately in that first quarter, but it had a lot to do with the clearing game in the middle of the field mistakes, which led to less settled possessions. So we'll see if both teams can settle in now and see if we can get some goals on the board. So they're going to have a face-off. There's 3 seconds remaining on the penalty, but with nobody having possession there will be a face-off. So an advantage on the wing, but it didn't matter because it was a face-off violation anyway. First of the second quarter. Now the officials are talking about it,
And what are they trying to sort out here?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, Glenn. It looked like a violation on Loyola.
Yes.
But then the trail official did whistle something, so it looks like we're going to have a reface.
Okay. So take the violation off the board. Now remember, look, Spalding's got the advantage on the wing. As over on the top side, you see Colin Olson by himself. And that's frustrating. They have the advantage and not come away with the face-off. Heil takes it himself. Their second face-off specialist. Penalty is killed off. And Loyola has possession to start this second quarter. Defense stood tall, however, in that first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Spalding's defense and Loyola's defense have kind of been their calling cards all year. You know, Spalding's got, at times, an explosive offense, but really Coach Kessler does such a good job with the defense. You know, a lot of great players out there. Number 24, Sean Johnson, can talk all day about him.
Left that pass just dangling there. Easy interception, pushed all the way in. The shot himself, but Chernesky shoots it right into the stick of Jesse D'Alonzo.
Yeah, especially early, you want to try to test goalies low, get them guessing a little bit. It seems like every shot has been stick side high.
Were you okay with his decision to take the shot to begin with, Sean?
Well, I'd like to see them get themselves set up in their 4-on-3 break. It looks like the attackmen were starting too high. You know, you want to be near the restraining line and set up in your L to try to draw one. But nobody came to Brooks, so I'm okay with him shooting inside the hash.
Sean Johnson with an outstanding defensive effort. And I know you've been raving about this young man and what he brings to the table defensively for some time. You're excited to have him.
I'm very excited. He's like a torpedo with ballerina feet. You know, he's the starting cornerback here on the MIAA Championship Archbishop Spalding football team, which is really hard to do as a freshman. And just looking what he's doing this year for the JV team, it looks like he has a bright future in lacrosse as well.
Rifle in from Sullivan, not on target. Johnson's already got a lot of D1 football offers, including Maryland. Very talented lacrosse player to boot. We saw Dante Trader do the double-double at Maryland.
Absolutely.
Don't know if that'll be an option for many more. Xavier Arline was trying to do it at Navy. He's dealt with some injuries. Adelman sends it back. Zervalek. 22 in the middle, behind the back, not on target from Adelman. And no backup there, and Adelman kind of had no choice as he was going down but to try to get it on cage somehow, some way.
Yep, Landon was kind of running out of an angle there, but I like the plan from Coach Sherwood, Coach Epps, the offensive coordinators here for the JV to kind of invert the shorties. You see the short stick D-middies for Loyola almost shutting the ball, so to get them behind is kind of a good sign for Spalding.
Dangerous lob pass, but it's brought down, and that, no flag. Ball back on the turf, and this time push is going to be called. Reinecker just a little too aggressive.
Yeah, it seems Spalding may have gotten away with a push for possession there in the corner.
I thought that was the case. So a fresh 60 for Loyola. Leading 1-0 early on here in the second quarter. Still 7 minutes to go in this first half. It's not been a high-powered first half. Blair trying to get his hands free, switches it to the opposite side. Caring. Comes back to the near side. Mossier.
Good call, Ward there. Using the free hand to create separation to get that shot off. It's going to be Spalding ball. You know, with 10-minute quarters, Glenn, it's just every possession becomes even more and more important. It's so important to clear the ball well, effectively, try to steal possessions on 50-50 ground balls and to face off well to win at the JV level.
And there was a good clear there, Hal helping out. It also feels like when you're in a funk like this, it kind of weighs on you a little bit more because you start doing the math, right?
Sure.
Like,
starts to snowball.
Yep. Spalding still trying to get on the board for the first time today. After, again, they scored 10 last time out against Loyola. Blair brings it up.
Here's this little double invert we were talking about earlier. Little.
George setting the pick. Blair gets inside. Oh, he had him. Had everything he wanted with Schwab right on the doorstep. It was a really well-designed play.
Right. Both times we've seen a right-handed drive off an invert with a lefty kind of cutting to that back crease. You know, especially at the JV level, it's important to have dominant hands. So if that's a righty as the mirror, they might get a better opportunity.
Trouble inside. Oh, too easy. Cooper Pasco on the doorstep. Pasco makes it 2-0 Loyola.
Yeah, it seems Loyola was able to generate a fast break opportunity by subbing there. You know, if you're Spalding, you got to pride yourself about getting in the hole a little bit earlier. Bo kind of was all over it a little bit, but it just snuck past him there.
Yeah, he had the pipe well protected, but just enough space. I also thought that Spalding, the midfielders, they were trying to ride a little bit more, trying to come away with the turnover, and when they didn't get the ball, they were behind. All of a sudden, danger the other way. So 2-0 Loyola with 5:59 remaining in the second, and another face-off win for Heil. Now going up against Cooper Johnson, comes away with another one. He's got both of them here in the second quarter.
And Cooper's done a pretty good job for Spalding all year long. You know, at that point, I think he won the clamp, but just couldn't find the ball, and it ended up right in Hal's stick.
So Loyola settles in, already in front 2-0, confidence building. Much better situation than they were in the last time they were here at Whittles Field. And instead, they're going to throw it away. Boyle looking for some help, ends up turning it over. Cavaliers get it back. It's a very long pass. Wow, Wardell, dangerous pass, but it pays off. Quick clear for the Cavaliers.
And now you're seeing Adam Schwab out there subbing for Landon Adelman. Landon Adelman bumps to the midfield. Adam Schwab, 5 of their 10 goals against Loyola last time they played. So we'll see if he can get involved on the scoring.
Like to get him going. Sullivan, the long pole on him. Sullivan drifts back. It's Demetrios Madden defending him. Now engaging Adelman. Nothing there. Mikey Boyle. So you got a favorable matchup with an offensive player stuck. Not able to take advantage of it. A good move and a shot just not on target. Zervalek did well to get free there. Just couldn't get the shot on cage.
Yeah, Loyola's short stick team middies are doing a good job shutting the ball, which is making it difficult for Spalding to come out and get it. You know, if you're shut, you want to be involved in the pick game.
First time out taken here with 4:24 to play in the second quarter, just past the midway point of quarter number 2. Glenn Clark, Sean Cottle with you for this MIAA JV championship. What does Spalding need to do better offensively, Sean, to finally get going?
Yeah, if you're Dave Sherwood and Roland Epps in this huddle right now, you're saying, look, it's okay to be shut, but go ahead and set a pick. You know, try to create switches. Attack their shorties, relax. The looks are there. Just calm down and make them.
Of course, going up against a team that also wants to win a championship. They're feeling it too. They had revenge on their minds. They've been really good this season. As Sean pointed out, only loss all year was here at Spalding in that torrential rain, and they have looked sharp to start the day. It feels like they've just avoided making as many mistakes in the early going as Spalding has made.
Yeah, these are the games that Loyola Blakefield prides themselves on at the JV level, are these low-scoring 5-4, 6-4 games, playing really sound defense. And, you know, sometimes the team that makes the least amount of mistakes wins, and that's kind of what Loyola's doing right now.
Out of the timeout. Be 25 seconds remaining on the possession clock for the Cavaliers. They just want to get going offensively, just want to get out of this funk, get a crooked number on the board, and get going a little bit here in this championship game.
Yeah, let's see if Coach Sherwood, Coach Epps drew up maybe a quick hitter, something to get the confidence flowing, something you've been saving for this exact moment throughout the season, something you haven't put on film.
It'll be Blair to start with it. Carson Blair, freshman, 16 points on the season. Pick set by George. Blair feeds it up top. Sullivan. Pass was not quite on target. Sullivan not able to get free. Now trying to bully his way free. It's just not there, and they're down to 10 seconds on the possession clock. Got to regroup. 5 seconds. Have to make a move. And fed in front. Oh, really well done, but Schwab not able to hit the hammer.
It was a great save. It was an instinctual save. Went to that back pipe, and the goalie was able to come out and stop it.
Really good read from D'Alonzon to protect. As Schwab had worked his way back free. Boy, they used every second of that possession clock, and it looked like it was going to pay off for him. But a big stop, and it's still 2-0 as the Dons get it back, trying to add to it, and now looking to try to create a little separation. Pasco will slow it down, working from the corner. And now he makes a run, gets it in front, and boy, that's very fortunate that it wasn't just a 3-0 game as Sipple was by himself.
It was an incredible look down to that back pipe, driving left-handed, and Sipple just hit the pipe.
Loyola will take the timeout with 3:15 remaining. They caught Spalding napping a little bit there, Sean. That was danger territory. To your point, Sipple not able to cash it in, but boy, they get a wide open look. And I think right now, boy, it feels like you're just trying to get your attention of your players and say, guys, don't worry about all the others. We just gotta settle down and play lacrosse right now.
Right, absolutely. Schematically, we're looking at two very good teams. You know, the looks have been there, the dodging has been on point. It's just been the catching and finishing and the mistakes in between the 30-yard lines that are killing kind of both teams right now. So that's kind of what you expect on the JV level. Is the little things aren't always there, but schematically, your dominant hands. These are two very talented teams in that aspect.
Spalding looking for their first JV championship since 2018. Right now, they're just looking for their first goal of the game. And then they'll start looking for their first JV championship since 2018.
Yeah, absolutely. Just by coaching in this JV conference for the last 3 years, is Spalding and Loyola has always been at the top.
Sure.
They pride themselves on, if you're not going to play as a freshman or a sophomore on varsity, then you're going to individually develop on JV. And I think that's really the smart way to run a program, and you can see it in their recent successes.
Loyola still alive to try to win a varsity championship this year. One of 4 teams remaining, as it is championship week in the MIAA. They play Calvert Hall in the semifinals. That other semifinal's pretty good down in Annapolis.
Ooh, that's going to look like a college game.
35 seconds remaining on the possession clock. Boyle sends it back to X. Llewellyn operating from there. Bryce Llewellyn swings it back to Boyle. 20 seconds. Good fake. But nowhere at all for Klein to go. So he's got to retreat down to 12. And out of the near side, Pasco doubled. Pasco does well just to get a shot of any sort off there. Whizzes by.
And there is a reset here, Glenn.
Boy,
so
they say you
60.
got a piece of that. Interesting. So very good news. Pasco creating something totally out of nothing and then creating a goal to boot. Second of the game for Cooper. Pasco makes it 3-0 Loyola with 2:18 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's always funny to me when you're watching an MIA JV game. You have some things that look pretty JV-ish and some things that look varsity-esque. And that was it from Pascal. Drops his hands, driving left-handed, and rips it low to high in the corner. That's a skilled play.
High-level goal from Pasco. Loyola is feeling it right now. Spalding's got work to do. Can use a face-off win. They'll get a face-off win. Good job by Johnson to get that backwards, go take it himself. Johnson hangs on to it, converts.
Very well done. How often, Glenn, do you see a face-off guy who wins it backwards and just throws it to the goalie? You see that a lot. And then you give Loyola an opportunity to ride. There, Cooper Johnson did a great job turning up the field and creating the clear himself.
And it gets more time to get your guys on.
Absolutely.
Way more possession time. Can that result in a goal? Zervalek swings the other way. Drops it off. Treff flips it back. Zervalek. Another timeout. Another timeout taken with 1:32 remaining. So that'll be the second and final timeout of the half for the Cavaliers. Sean, what would you like to see them run here? Desperately needing a goal just to get going in this game here late in the first half. What do you want to see them do out of this timeout?
Yeah, I really like the timeout, kind of your use it or lose it timeout from Alex Kessler there. I'd like to see them getting something down the alley towards the cage with either number 4, Carson Blair, or number 21, Brody Moss, against a short stick if they can, and maybe have Ryan Sullivan popping off the crease for that right-handed hammer that he has. You know, we haven't seen 2 passes in a, 2 passes, the ball moves twice, and we reattack. You know, you've seen 1 pass, hit or miss, all or nothing. You know, I'd like them to stay more patient with their offense, see if they can get a better look.
Get spinning a little bit.
Yep.
Loyola and their head coach Dodd Poe, 1990 graduate of Loyola Blakefield. They got to be super pleased with the situation they find themselves in here late in the first half. Boy, what it would do for them to keep Spalding sitting on 0 going into the locker room, and the momentum they would feel because of that. Right now, Spalding just trying to feel something here late in this first half.
Right, you get that feeling that 1 goal could change it all for Spalding, right? You know, and Glenn, the big thing about the MIAA JV is a lot of these teams approach their teams as a varsity team. You know, it's the same leadership qualities, the same practice times, you know, film sessions, everything. So in that aspect, you know, we're seeing 2 varsity teams prepare in a JV championship. So it's really exciting to watch.
36 seconds remaining on the possession clock as Treff picks it up for the Cavaliers. Aiden Treff drifts towards the corner. Screen from Zervalek. Treff now sends it back up top. Adelman, and that's back on the turf. Sullivan not able to pick it up cleanly, but Adelman gets it back. 22 seconds remaining on the possession clock. Adelman back behind. Swiderski, that's deflected. Race to the corner. Ground ball there to be had. Cusson sends it back in towards the middle of the field. There was a reset of the possession clock, so Spalding's going to be fortunate as we go under a minute to play in the half. It's a bad luck, good luck situation. They got a full new 80 to operate with, although at this point, shot clock essentially turned off, and there's a huge goal. Adelman steps down and gets the Cavaliers on the board.
Just as a varsity team would kind of rely on their seniors, a JV team relies on their sophomores, and that's Aiden Treff to Landon Adelman, 2 sophomores who have been battle-tested throughout this season and last year. Treff draws a slide left-handed, and Adelman from the slot rips it low to low.
12th of the season for Adelman and his 18th point. Treff with his 10th assist and his 17th point. And there's still plenty of time here now. You win a face-off, you got an opportunity to try to make this a 1-goal game and have all the men back your way. However, face-off goes the other way. Moneymaker comes up with it. We'll see Loyola try to run something late in the clock. 26 seconds. They'll slow it down, get the personnel out that they want. And as we go under 20, now we'll likely see them engage. Pasco, who just scored that spectacular goal a minute ago, feeds it up top. That one's turned aside. 6 seconds. Opportunity. 3 seconds. Got to let it fly. And boy, a remarkable execution just to get a shot off in the closing seconds, but not on target. And that's how the half comes to a close. 20 minutes down. Loyola in front, 3-1 over Spalding. You're watching the 2023 MIAA JV Championship.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field.
Yes. 3-1 Loyola in front of Spalding at the half in the MIAA JV Championship game. Big goal late in the first half from Landon Adelman. Sean Cottle, is that enough to get the Cavaliers going here in half number 2?
Well, we certainly hope so. You know, what I'm noticing with Spalding's offense is everything's one dodge, one pass, and either a turnover or a shot. You know, we need these dodge, throw it forward, move the ball again, approach dodge. Do what you've been doing all season that's been working as a team.
And a face-off win to start the third quarter doesn't hurt. Looked like they might have had some numbers, but they're going to choose to slow things down after Olsen brought it on for the Cavaliers. He is Sean Cottle. I'm Glenn Clark. 3-1, Loyola in front. Spalding scored that final goal of the first half, trying to build off of that as they look for this JV championship here in the MIAA.
Early flag down. I believe we got a slash here, Glenn. So free possession here for Spalding.
Opportunity to try to put it home, knowing the penalty is coming. Work your offense. I don't know if that was the shot they were looking for from Moss. Not on target, but held on to. And now we'll find out about the penalty. The second extra man opportunity of the day for the Cavaliers. They were not able to cash in on their first. Try to change that here. And it's on Reed Werner, the long stick midfielder, so a 60-second penalty.
Glenn, and last time Spalding and Loyola played, Spalding was 3 for 3 on the extra man. So we'll see if they can cash in here.
And the first one, unfortunately, ended quickly because of backup situation. You had Schwab try to go for the ground ball. Instead, didn't come up with it.
And they are shutting number 13, Landon Adelman. So Loyola content to play 5-on-4.
It's very similar to what we saw in the first extra man opportunity of the game.
Good skip
pass, but not on target from Moss. Backup is there. Stays with the Cavaliers. Still lots of time, 40 on the penalty. The restart. A little bit of a hang-up. Schwab tries to decide what to do. Gets inside, can't can it. Backup again is there. Still 28 seconds remaining on the penalty. Schwab needed to improve his angle just a little bit there. 25 seconds. Up top, Sullivan gives it right back. Good movement. Oh, great save. Treff denied. D'Alonzon.
Yeah, Aiden
Cavaliers get it back.
Aiden Treff, number 8 in white, just needed to come to the front of the cage a little bit to increase his angle.
Penalty is killed off. So Spalding now 0 for 2 on the extra man today. But they do get the ball back. Another opportunity to try to make it a 1-goal game. Sullivan has it checked out of his stick. Able to get it back. Regroups. Goes back to work. Had Chung all over him. Getting hands free. Oh, what a stinger of a shot. Brody Moss makes it 3-2.
Yeah, Brody Moss has been a contributing factor for Spalding all season. 17 goals, 10 assists. Here they skip it through to him, and he's able to do a right-handed hitch and go dodge to get topside. See it here, the little hitch. Defender bites on it. He takes a few steps upfield and rips it high to high.
Delivers. First goal of the second half. Makes it a 1-goal game. Back-to-back goals now scored by the Cavaliers after Loyola scored the first 3 of the contest. Moss's 18th goal of the season cuts it back to a 1-goal game. New life for Spalding. And that was going to go against Johnson anyway. So Nugent wins it for the Dons, who will have their first possession of the second half. Good start for the Cavaliers. Now you got a rested defense. Hope they can get a stop. Give you a chance to go tie it up. Good move inside, but a shot not on target. No real angle there for Llewellyn. Took it anyway. Boyle has it from the corner. Lobs it back.
Big little game behind here.
Pasco already with 2 goals on the game. Sends it up top. Sipple. Sipple's first of the day. And that's pretty textbook lacrosse. Makes it 4-2 with 7:09 to play in the third.
Yeah, Loyola just exposing the 2 slide. As you see, the slide comes and there's no rotation to Sipple, who has a right-handed rocket, it seems like, overhand high to low, and beats Wardell.
Sipple's first goal, 2nd point of the game. Pasco's first assist, 3rd point of the contest. 4-2. Loyola extends the lead back out to 2 with 7:09 remaining in the third. That one's sent all the way back towards the restraining line where Moneymaker will pick it up. So just as Spalding got some momentum going, let's see if this one does get over the sideline. It does. So the Cavaliers get a gift because Loyola kind of seized momentum back.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Dons. Clear 4-on-3 break. Pass to the point man just a little wide.
Trouble on that sideline. Smart to just drop it on the turf. Good heads-up play. Now can they get possession back? Blair did the right thing, and he'll be rewarded for it.
What incredible skill and IQ there from the corner by Carson Blair. Going out of bounds, he leads it forward like it's a hockey puck and goes and grabs it.
And then all the way inside. Boy, a great chance for Moss. He backed up, stays with the Cavaliers. Moss not able to convert. George off the restart. Chris George, the freshman, 4 goals on the season. Drifts back towards X. Moss. Moss has been active today. Moss trying to get top side. Moss, nicely done. One-on-one effort. Brody Moss, second goal. And it's a 1-goal game again at 4-3.
When Spalding needs a goal, they're going to 21 in white. Brody Moss. Right to left split off the single invert. You can see him beat him top side, step away, and finish with the left hand on the near pipe. Great goal.
19th of the season for Brody Moss. 4-3. Business is picking up in the second half, Sean Cottle.
Offense was sold separately in the first half. As we said, it's starting to open up a little bit.
Coming to life. Ooh, very close to a turnover. It'll be swung back in, but it's going to belong to Loyola, so that's unfortunate as Reinecker couldn't save it. And Loyola gets a bonus possession here. Still not even at the midway point of this third quarter. And I guess there was a clock issue.
They're going to reset 80 because they're going to say Reinecker had possession, change of possession to get it back to 80.
That makes sense. We saw 4 total goals in the first half. In the first 4.5 minutes of the second half, we've seen 3.
Team's starting to settle in, and the execution's starting to go offensively.
Pasco sends it back up top. Running shot, low, nice save. Blair denied. Wardell coming up with a big-time low save. Nearly disaster for the Cavaliers. They've
Middle
got
of the
work
field's
to do.
open.
6 seconds. They will get it across. Complete the clear. And they'll have an opportunity to tie this game back up.
Yeah, it's a 2-down ride for Loyola, so they are putting pressure on the 2 close defensemen and the goalie Wardell. So Spalding's going to need to come back to the ball a little bit and then change from field to field.
Zervalek drifts all the way back with it. Sipple out there, so they want to try to take advantage. Good move to the middle and the finish. Jake Brown. And we got a brand new game. It's 4-4.
Yeah, you said it, Glenn. They got Sipple caught on defense, so they dodge him right away. That's a heads-up play by Zervalek back there. And you can see the Loyola defense is starting to ball watch a little bit. So Jake Brown takes advantage and flashes right to the top of the crease. It was a perfect feed and a perfect finish, and we got a tie ball game here.
First goal of the day, 3rd of the season for Brown, and his 4th point. Zervalek, first assist today, 4th of the year, and his 10th point. 4-4 with 4:36 remaining. Face-off violation, however, first of the second half for the Cavaliers. So, momentum has swung a bit. Spalding has worked their way out of a 3-0 hole. First time this game has been tied since all the way back in the first quarter. Now can they build off of it? Got to get a stop. Past the midway point of quarter number 3, Pasco sends it in front, and it's just picked off by Wardell.
They did have an open cutter there, so it was a good job by Wardell to pick off the pass. Here's Zach Philpott now. He's a very good clearing. He has a good stick for a close defenseman.
And that, yep, late delayed flag, but it was pretty obvious that Jacob Klein was standing on the other side of the midfield line. Don't know why it took so long for the flag to come out, but that is an obvious offsides call. And why the stoppage? Okay, moving pick. So now they'll adjudicate the offsides. And it'll be the 3rd extra man opportunity of the day for the Cavaliers, with a chance to move in front for the first time.
And Spalding hasn't really had an answer for this shut that Loyola's been doing on their man down. You know, if you're Spalding, you got to bring the shut guy either inside or and run a 3-3 or a 2-3-1 and see skip passes, or bring him outside the play and have a specific designed 5-on-4 carry in motion.
So the 30-second penalty, as Klein was offsides. And they do indeed put Swiderski. Now they drift him back outside. And keep it moving. Schwab. Into the middle, turnaround shot, and it goes. Brody Moss falling down. This game is his recital. He thinks it's very vital to rock a rhyme. That's right on time. Hat tricky. Brody Moss's title as the Cavaliers go in front for the first time today.
Very interesting there. Brody Moss was being shut, so they were content on playing 5-on-4, and then he was being shut. Then he ran to the middle to set up maybe a 3-3 or 2-3-1, and the Loyola defender did not go with him, so he was able to just cut to the crease. Aiden Treff found him, and the Cavs got their first lead of the game.
Treff's second assist of the day, 11th of the year, and his 18th point. Another face-off win for Loyola, but Spalding in front, 5-4. As we tick towards 3 minutes to play. 1 goal the entirety of the first half, 4 here in the third quarter. They have come to life.
And I want to give Spalding's defense a ton of credit right now. Every time Spalding is able to score a goal, you know, Loyola wins that faceoff. So a stop is needed for them to continue this run, and they've been getting it.
I would also suggest that maybe Alex Kessler should bottle up whatever it is that he said at halftime. Let's try to have it available on repeat. They have been a totally different team here in this second half. Still a lot of work to do. Long way to go in this one. 1 goal game. Blair to the middle. Sipple was open. Kind of took him a second to recognize it. Obviously, he was facing the wrong direction to be able to take advantage of it, but seemed like he could have turned and gotten a shot. Pasco. Hounded, feeds it up top to Sipple. It's knocked away, taken away by the Cavaliers. Got to get it back. Need a ground ball here. Wow, somehow the smallest guy on the field comes away with it.
What a tough ground ball by Grady Swiderski. That's what I said in the opener, Glenn. He plays like he's 6'4". He's got so much heart and toughness, and he's been a great player all year for Spalding. Their second leading scorer and doing the little things like coming out of the pile with a ground ball.
Olsen not able to collect. A couple of opportunities, just not able to hold on to it. Goosed it forward. Swiderski makes the big play. Spalding. Things have moved to their side. Moss. Wow. Another. Brody Moss, a 4-pack. 6'4", Spalding.
Loyola has had no answer for the single invert from Brody Moss. You see he beats Sipple up the field, keeps running up the hash, and does a great jump shot to the off hip. 4 goals for the freshman.
I didn't know that he had enough on that shot that time, Sean.
It was very well placed. It wasn't as hard as we thought it would be, but it was very well placed right to that off hip side. And Brody's really mixing up where he's shooting, and that's why he's having success.
The Dons need a timeout as this thing has snowballed away from them. 6-4 Cavaliers, 4th of the game, 21st of the season for Brody Moss, who has taken things over. All 4 goals here in the second half. Brody Moss has been a man on a mission for Archbishop Spalding.
It really has been a fantastic individual effort. You know, he's dodging from the wing, he's dodging from X, he's dodging from up top. He's kind of starting the party, and he's finishing it himself a little bit.
No doubt about it. Just taking on these individual efforts, determined, get in front, put a shot on goal, generate what you can. And he has turned this thing around. Now, what's the conversation like in the other huddle? What's Dodd Post saying to his team is they've got to be a little shell-shocked right now.
You got to think the timeout is to get a pole on 21. I think that's the first message you start with, pole on 21. And then offensively, they're kind of doing what Spalding did in the first half, which is just one dodge and a Hail Mary throw. You know, you want to see them move the ball twice, re-attack, take an approach dodge, move the ball again, and play as a team. So the face-off has been a strength for the Loyola Dons, so let's see if they can win this one and try to get it to a 1-goal game.
1:34 remaining here in the third quarter. Spalding has outscored Loyola 5-1 in quarter number 3 to take this 6-4 advantage. Back to the dot we go. Nugent swipes it back. Johnson dives for it but can't come up with it. And it's going to go this way.
Loose ball hold called on the Loyola Dons. It's going to go to Spalding.
How will have it. Cavaliers 8-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Are you looking to try to hold this one for a little while, or the way things have been going, you just want to go score more goals?
I would, if I was Coach Kessler, I'm liking what my offense is doing. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say for last shot. I would understand if they did, but I like to keep kids in rhythm. You know, keep them flowing. Whatever's working, let's roll with that.
Blair lobs it back to Moss, and no pole. Moss again has the short stick to work against. Moves it out. Nice save. Big, big save from Teddy Mosher, who is the new goalie. Mosher, a sophomore, comes in replacing Jesse DeAlonson.
And it was a good save on Ryan Sullivan. You saw he kind of drifted himself out of an angle, but the shot is open for him because of the attention that Brody Moss, 21, is drawing now. They are looking to go to him early, so, you know, team ball might be the answer for the rest of the way.
47 seconds remaining. Shot clock effectively turned off. Loyola trying to get this back to a one-goal game to go into the fourth quarter. Get a little momentum back. Everything has been on the side of the Cavaliers. And here in quarter number 3, Llewellyn drifts back. 24 seconds remaining. Llewellyn feeds it in front, wide open, but not on target. Pasco just underneath, goal line extended, couldn't get it on the cage. 12 seconds remaining. Quick clear for the Cavaliers. They're trying to push. Howell gets it ahead. Forced to the middle, knocked down. And that'll be how the quarter comes to a close. But what a quarter it was. Spalding outscores Loyola 5-1 in the third. They go to the fourth in front 6-4, 10 minutes away from an MIAA JV championship.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. Spalding in front of Loyola 6-4 in the MIAA JV championship game. Glenn Clark, Sean Cottle with you. Coach, what got into Spalding in that third quarter, and how do they make sure they carry it with them to the finish line?
Well, they just seemed way more in sync that quarter. You know, Brody Moss went ballistic, 4 goals, 4 of the 6 goals coming from Brody Moss on individual dodges. And, you know, they're finding something that they like throughout the game, and it's attacking the shorties with Brody Moss from behind and from the wing. So we'll see if there's more of that. We'll see if Loyola makes an adjustment. But from top to bottom, Spalding was dialed in that third quarter.
I pointed out, you expected Loyola to go to a pole on Moss. They didn't on the first. Instead, they brought a quicker double. If that continues, it's just as simple as Moss' responsibility to find out who's open and turn them into goal scorers.
Absolutely. Dodge to draw a slide, move the ball, and then move it again and reattack. That backside should be open if they're sliding early to Brody Moss.
Back to the dot to begin quarter number 4. Johnson battling Heil. It's still on the turf, and it's going to belong to the Dons.
Credit Loyola. They've done some great things, whether it be wing play or individual efforts on the face-off. That's really been the strength of this game for them.
Heil in some trouble, but Chernesky not able to take advantage of it. So Loyola needing a goal to just stabilize things. It's getting late early for the Dons. After they had as much as a 3-goal lead back in the first half, they now trail 6-4 here in the fourth. Cavaliers trying to finish an undefeated season with a championship. Good switch, the good double that is. However, the feet up top, and that leads to an easy goal for Cole Mossier. Cuts it back to a 1-goal game at 6-5.
Yeah, it seems Spalding slid to the individual dodge, but then Brooks Cherneski, number 18, fell down, so they were playing down one on the backside. It was a great flash to the middle and good finish.
First of the day for Mossier makes it 6-5, 9:19 remaining in the fourth quarter. So a quick response from the Dons to begin the final frame. Spalding could use a face-off win. Johnson back out there against Heil. And Heil's going to come away with it again. Now Heil's in trouble. Johnson gets it back on the turf. And it belongs to the Cavaliers. Swiderski stepping through, picking up the ground ball. How about Johnson, after he had lost the face-off, getting right back to work and winning the ball back for his team?
It was a really gritty play. You know, what you can do on the ground. Can you scrap? That's how you win face-offs. That's how you steal possessions, and that's how you win games. So it was really a good individual effort by Cooper Johnson.
Treff operating for the Cavaliers. Every possession feeling monumental right now in this championship game. Sullivan from the top. Sullivan's been quiet today.
Yeah, he's been very quiet. I'd like to see them use him off ball, whether it be fading away from the dodge or cutting.
They're going to get it back to him. Up top, Treff. Now it's Schwab, 25 seconds. He gets it back behind. Swiderski drops it off to Zervalek. 18 seconds on the possession clock. Zervalek trying to bully his way through. He's taken down.
Loose push, resets to 60 here. So Spalding can relax, settle in.
Good fortune for the Cavaliers, as that looked like trouble when Zervalek tried to force the issue.
You know, you see it a lot at the JV level, is you've drawn a slide and then you're holding on to the ball. You know, you'd like to see the ball move so you can reattack that backside.
Sullivan has a step, doesn't first force it. Swiderski, somehow he held on at first, but then loses the ball. And that would seem to be a loose ball push, but not called.
Interesting. He was within 5 yards of the ball, so if he is legally allowed to push a Spalding player, but it did seem a tad egregious. I like the no call, though. We'll move on.
All right, very good. Ahead all the way in, and there's the tying goal for Albanese. Nobody picked him up. And James Albanese's first of the day makes it 6-6 with 7:21 as momentum shifts right back to the side of the Dons.
Yeah, nobody said it was going to be easy. You know, when you're an offensive midi, you're going from offense to defense. You have to sprint into the hole first to then play the ball. To then play the ball. You don't want to chase stick or try to get a takeaway check on the corner, because you're just going to create transition the other way, and that's kind of what happened.
Heil and Johnson again at the dot. You can feel the tension right now as that ground ball was picked up and held on to. Good job on the wing by Werner. Loyola with a chance to retake the lead here in the fourth quarter after they fell behind by 2. Pasco.
Starting to feel like momentum Dons, isn't it now, Glenn?
Certainly is. After they got punched in the mouth, they come back with a big body blow. They have a chance to go back in front. Cavaliers need a stop. Can't leave Pasco wide open. Very fortunate. He was free, just couldn't get it on cage.
Yeah, we're starting to see some ball watching here for Spalding's defense. You gotta find your matchup. If you're 1, you gotta be ready to go, and if you're 2, you gotta be ready to protect his back. Other than that, you should be watching your matchup.
45 on the possession clock. Llewellyn drops it to Boyle. Boyle tries to get back in front. A couple defenders came his way, but he couldn't find anybody else that was open. They'll get it back up top to Llewellyn. 22 on the possession clock.
Great slide.
Huge hit. I don't know if anybody got the license plate for that truck.
And that's Sean Johnson down there, the starting cornerback.
Fortunately, the Cavaliers not able to hold on in front. No backup, though. after the shot was wide from Caring. So it's getting a little frenetic right now here in the fourth quarter. Boy, that hit from Johnson was something else.
Good up and out right there by Philpott to Brody Moss.
Moss
now they're getting their personnel on. See if Carson Blair could start the party here, Glenn. He's been quiet, number 4 in white.
Blair with it. Defended by Mern all the way inside. Goes for a bounce, but it's not on target. Spalding will keep it. Lots of time, 56 on the possession clock. It's like Blair heard you. Just didn't have the placement on the shot. George operating from behind. George, second defender comes. Keeps it on his stick. Now Sullivan. Sullivan lets it rip. It's saved. Ball still loose. Nobody seems to want it right now. It's going to get all the way back over midfield. It wouldn't have been an over and back, but it's grabbed by Hauer anyway. That all started with a great save by Mosher.
Ball still loose here, Glenn.
And it's going to go the other way. Ground ball to Olsen. Olsen gets the clear just that quickly. Boy, Moss was wide open. Danielson decided not to force it in there.
You could feel the game getting a little up and down, back and forth. You know, both teams want to get their offensive personnel out here as we're dwindling under 5 minutes.
These possessions, absolutely massive. Boy, you can't ask for a lot more than Moss open in the middle of the field.
Absolutely. It's been his day today.
Treff sends it back behind to X. Defender hung up. Swiderski surveys. Feeds it to the middle. Low and not put home. Schwab trying to sort of gently push it into the goal. Great ground ball by Treff to keep possession alive. The officials are going to talk about it. Nope, timeout is going to be taken by Spalding. 3:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter. So Spalding goes in front 6-4 in the third. They score 5, but here we are 6 minutes and change into the fourth, and they haven't been able to score again. Why haven't they been able to convert here in this fourth quarter?
Every quarter feels like a different start of the game for both teams. You know, both coaches are doing a really good job making adjustments offensively and defensively, and they're cleaning up kind of the middle third. It was a great job on that last possession by Grady Swiderski getting that hang up. And then if you're Loyola Don, if you're hung up and you're off ball, you got to face guard your man. They didn't, and Schwab had a good opportunity there. We'll see what Coach Sherwood and Coach Epps kind of draw up. 54 seconds on the shot clock here in a tie game.
Needless to say, another huge possession right now. Tie game in the MIAA championship, the JV championship. Glenn Clark, Sean Cottle with you from Whittles Field. 3:50 remaining. And you can feel like the tension of this fourth quarter. And I think we saw that unfold as the ball was just not finding a stick there. It seemed to remain on the turf for a good long while. It feels like these moments, the players are feeling the pressure and the tension of the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we coming into this, we thought this was going to be a close, more spirited effort from Loyola coming off that 10-2 loss last time when it was monsooning. And you're seeing two equally matched teams. So we're getting a great championship and a real treat here on New Cut Road.
So, possession, Spalding. They'll have one timeout remaining here with 3:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. Blair will have it off the restart. 54 on the possession clock. Spalding has not scored in the fourth. Loyola led by as many as 3 back in the first half. Spalding rallied to take a 6-4 lead going into the fourth. It's 6-6 now. What do the Cavaliers have in mind? Moss drops it off. Sullivan runs out of angle, creates a new one right to the corner.
And that's what we were waiting on, Ryan Sullivan to get going. Brody Moss draws a lot of attention when he's sweeping left-handed. Throws it down to Ryan, who does a good job drifting off ball, and he's able to increase his angle. Comes up the hash, uses that big frame to shoot over the top and stings the corner.
Perfectly done by Sullivan. First of the game, team leading 26th of the season. Cavaliers back in front 7-6 with 3:36 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Nugent comes up with that one. So possession right back to the Dons with a chance to tie it right back up. Loyola came out to start this fourth quarter very sharp.
Loyola relying on a lot of off-ball movement is where they're generating a lot of their goals, while Spalding's goals have been more individually effort. So if you're Spalding off-ball, you cannot relax.
Sipple gets the screen, tries to back down in front.
There's the off-ball.
Up top, bomb. Absolute bomb from Cooper Pasco. Third of the game. Fourth point on the day, and it's 7-7 with 2:57 remaining in the fourth.
And what's happening is Spalding is sliding, but they're not sliding with ball pressure, and they're not releasing the man getting slid to. So it's ending up being a 5-on-4 on the backside every time they slide. When you slide, you need to slide with ball pressure and have that man bump in and recover so you can be 5-on-5 on the backside.
Sipple's second assist, third point of the game. 7-7, 2:57 remaining. It belongs again to Loyola. Trail check gets it out, however. Chernesky. Oh, but Chernesky loses it. Picked back up by Moneymaker.
Good hustle on the ride by Loyola. Spalding forces the turnover, but they get it right back. 70 seconds on the shot clock here.
2.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Loyola looking to retake the lead. Sipple drifts back with it to X. He'll survey from there. Sipple makes the move, trying to bully in front, feeds it up top. Pasco fakes the shot, moves it back towards the middle. It's loose, it's going the other way.
You can go backwards, there we go.
Reinecker comes up with it. Big stop for the Cavaliers. Got to get this clear.
Reverse fields.
Lots of time, 10 seconds. And a good smart pass. Reinecker to Moss to convert the clear. Under 2 minutes to play. Moss, remember, had 4 goals in the third quarter. Thought about taking the step. He's got the defender hung up.
Off-ball picks and cuts right now if you're Spalding. And if you're Loyola, face guard your man.
Oh, Moss found the right guy, but Adelman not able to put it home. Under a minute and a half remaining. Trouble. Ball's on the turf. And it'll be picked up. Brody Moss comes back away with it.
Great hustle on the ride there.
So now what do? You could essentially hold for the final shot of the quarter. They're going to talk about it. Is that the strategy that you would employ here, Sean Cottle, is to make sure no matter what, worst case scenario, we're headed to overtime?
I'm taking it down to about 20 seconds on the play clock and then starting my offense from there. That gives you enough time to dodge hard and then try to attack the backside. And then if worst comes to worst, we'll play overtime after that.
For what it's worth, this is the final timeout that Spalding had for the half. So if they're in trouble, they won't be able to bail themselves out of that trouble by calling a timeout to protect possession. 1:04 remaining. So take me inside the huddle, Sean Cottle. What are you calling here? Try to find a game-winning goal.
Yeah, absolutely. As coaches, this is kind of what we have in our back pocket most of the time is a play to use in this exact scenario. Championship game, 1 minute left. What are we calling? What are we running? And I know that the JV coaches do a good job at that. They've practiced for this moment. They've practiced the win the close game moment, the 1 minute left, down a goal, up a goal. They've practiced this. So I want to see what they put out there. I would start with Brody Moss on a short stick, see if they can slide early, and then see if we can get something off the backside, maybe with Ryan Sullivan popping off.
So again, shot clock effectively turned off. We don't actually turn off the shot clocks in the men's game because you still need them should there be a clear the other way. But it is irrelevant to the possession. Loyola has to just try to grind this out. If they have the opportunity to get the ball back, certainly they'll look to make the play to get the ball back. But their job, do whatever they can to prevent Spalding from scoring a game-winning goal late in this fourth quarter. What a game this has been. It's been a joy to bring it to you. Is there a championship to be had in regulation, or are we going to need to play on? Cavaliers ball out of the timeout. Up top to Sullivan as we go under a minute to play. Swiderski. They're not sitting on it.
It's making me nervous, Glenn.
Right? You don't like all these passes?
More so with varsity, you can move it around. You know, at the JV, you get a little nervous when you're throwing the ball across field like that.
Danger just throwing it away and wasting a final possession. Adelman now settles it. Screen set. Adelman gets going. Moves it to Sullivan. Sullivan loads up. It's turned aside by Mosher. Ball still loose. Picked up. Possession held on to by Moss. Lots of time, 20 seconds. And they're asking for a flag.
Loyola is saying that Spalding called a timeout from what I heard, which they do not have.
Sure.
Coach Kessler is saying, who called timeout? I didn't call timeout.
And the officials are talking about it.
Big moment here.
No
Big
question. 19.1 seconds remaining. And it looks like they're going to say no timeout was called. And then it's going to be in possession Cavaliers. Chance to win it here with 19 seconds remaining. Huge ground ball from Moss, obviously, in that mess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great scripted play. They got Ryan Sullivan, time and room, fading off the backside, and it was a big save, and then scramble situation came up Spalding. Maybe referee still discussing there, Glenn.
I might have spoken too soon. The officials right back into a huddle. Now, I guess the other question they could be deciding is, what should the clock say? It got down to 19.1 seconds. So if they decided and this is, look, you appreciate they want to make sure they get this right, Sean. Obviously, it's a massive moment in a championship game.
Right.
What I would say is take all the time you need to make sure that you have it right. I guess the question becomes, does one of the three officials believe that something happened that perhaps the other officials are not sure about, and they're just trying to make sure they talk it through?
Right. In these moments, you know, when you're watching the NBA or NHL, any sporting event, you just want the call to be correct, you know.
Yep. Now, you have no ability. You're not allowed to huddle up with your team right now.
Correct.
So, presuming it's going to be Spalding ball out of this, who's the one that's making the call and saying, hey, this is what we're doing here?
Right. It seems like they are in a set formation right now, so I believe they know what they're going to run and what personnel is going to do what. So it seems like they are organized right now. So let's just see what they come up with 19 seconds left.
So
official's going to bring both head coaches in to explain.
Of course, Alex Kessler from Spalding, Dodd Poe from Loyola.
And I had the pleasure of working with Alex Kessler for 3 years. He was my defensive coordinator when I was the head coach of the JV, and he is incredibly detail-oriented. He cares a lot about the kids, and he knows a lot about defense. So it's really great to see him having such success in his first year as a head coach here.
And has been discussed up in the booth. Of course, someone might have heard the word timeout yelled, but if it didn't come from Alex Kessler, it's irrelevant.
Correct.
If it was yelled by someone. All right, so after all that, Spalding ball, 19 seconds, lots of time. Carson Blair with it. Blair gets around the defender. Blair all the way inside, but has it swiped out. Big time check from Werner. 8 seconds left. Loyola content to just grind this down to 0, and they'll do that successfully. And this championship game is going to need overtime here at Whittlesfield.
Carson Blair kind of had Werner beat a little bit, using his speed, but Werner with great wheels to get back to it and use that 6-foot pole for the trail check.
And it's the mark of a great defender, right? Sometimes we see defenders that almost want to, bait you into believing
Absolutely.
that you have them beat, so that we see that on the varsity level. Robbie Hopper has been very good at that this season here at Spalding, wanting to bait you into thinking that you've gotten free just so that the moment I see that stick come back, I can swipe it right back out.
Correct. You know, and as an offensive player, you got to understand that I got to protect my stick until I feel that trail check on my shoulder. Then I can bring it back out and shoot. You know, the defender doesn't go away when you run past him.
Well, how do you like this? Championship at stake. We're going to play Golden Goal Lacrosse.
Oh, I love it.
Can't ask for a whole lot more. Now, the problem for Spalding is that Loyola has been really good at the dot today. They have been dominant in the face-off department. So talk me through what it is that you're trying to do. Obviously, if you're Johnson, you want to try to win the face-off, but talk me through the entire operation, knowing how critical this possession can be, coming out of the face-off.
I would consider double polling.
Yep.
From the face-off wings. You know, Spalding has a lot of capable pulls. Maybe you bump Sean Johnson up for this one. You know, these great ground ball close defensemen they have. Consider double polling him with Luke Doyle and see what Johnson can do. You know, Johnson's capable of winning, scrapping for the ball, winning it, and running it out himself. So this all-important face-off could be a chess match here.
Next goal wins the championship. Spalding trailed by 3 in the first half. Loyola trailed by 2 in the second half. But it's a tie game as we begin overtime in the MIAA JV Championship. It's Nugent and Johnson to open up a 4-minute period. Neither team scores. We'll try it again. Somebody scores, they get to hoist a trophy. Johnson gets down, scoots back this way. It'll belong to the Dons. Picked up by Werner. And they're going to call a quick timeout.
Yeah, unfortunate for Spalding is Johnson won the clamp, but it went right into the draw side. LSM for Loyola right into his cross, and they were able to get it below the restraining line, call timeout.
So, your expectations, what we're going to see from Loyola out of this timeout as they try to set up a championship-winning play.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely consider either an invert against the short sticks or an up-top dodge with maybe some crease action. You know, they've had success when they dodge and Spalding slides. They've had success on the backside. So I'm sure that's being noted in the Loyola huddle is when you dodge the shorty, be ready for the slide and see that skip pass. And on the other side, Alex Kessler is saying we got to get sticks and lanes on these skips that are killing us.
How aggressive do you want to be here defending? This is, you know, championships at stake, seasons on the line, undefeated season at stake. How aggressive do you want to be in a situation like this?
Sure, the key words are controlled aggression. You know, when the ball's on the ground, you want to be disciplined, you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to foul. You know, a foul is the worst thing to happen in overtime, to go 6-on-5 with these two high-level offenses that we've seen great shooters from time and room. So you don't want to foul, but you do want to play the ball aggressively so that you can slide off of it.
It's been a heck of a game.
Got the A-team back in the booth. No offense
Yeah, right?
to Sean Hatley and Andrew Scally. Great.
I got tired of carrying them all season long. Thanks for coming in, bailing me out today. My back was hurting carrying those scrubs.
Well, it's a beautiful day. It's been a packed house here.
They have been
great
into
lacrosse.
it. These fans have been into this game today, living and dying over every possession. 3:53 on the clock. All 80 seconds showing on the possession clock. Loyola ball out of the timeout. Golden Goal Lacrosse. Pasco drifts back to X. He's got Reinecker on him. Reinecker, sorry.
Crease cut inside was open for a minute.
Pasco
there.
makes his move, gets in front, and there's the winner. Cooper Pasco delivers an MIAA JV championship to Loyola Blakefield. Didn't take long.
Didn't take long. And, you know, he just won his matchup. It was an incredible move from behind, driving left-handed. No slide came, and he was able to win his matchup. You know, Glenn, we had the Spalding Cavaliers JV team had a really great season.
Unbelievable.
You know, undefeated until now. Both teams have split. You know, both teams have a lot to be proud of with their individual development and how they played as a team. And congratulations to the Loyola Dons.
Fourth goal of the day from Cooper Pasco proves to be the game and championship winner Loyola Blakefield finishes the season 11-1, and for Archbishop Spalding, a bitter 13-1 as they fall in overtime this afternoon here at Whittles Field. 8-7 the final score. To your point, Sean Cottle, obviously a ton to like about what this team did this season. I know you and everybody involved with the varsity program very excited about the talent you're going to be able to add from this team moving forward. They would have loved to have kept to establishing the championship culture by winning a title, but there is still so much to be excited about the future here for the Spalding program.
100%. It's so hard to be perfect in the MIAA, you know, to run the table, to potentially be 14-0 would have been an incredible accomplishment, but they had a phenomenal season. They got coached really hard. They developed. They have a lot to be proud of. The Loyola Dons showed up today and played a little spoiler. They played hard, and congratulations to them.
And you got to give them credit. They were punched in the mouth in that second half. They blew a 3-goal lead. They were down 6-4, and they rallied big time in that fourth quarter, forced overtime, where Pasco comes away with the championship-winning goal to make it an 8-7 final. This is just the start of, obviously, a great week of championship lacrosse in the MIAA. Tomorrow night, the semifinals, Boys Latin McDonough, followed by Calvert Hall Loyola. And then the championship on Friday, the semifinals at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The championship at Loyola's Ridley Athletic Complex. It's going to be an exciting week of lacrosse at the varsity level, started off by this JV championship game today. Sean Cottle, it was a lot of fun to hang out with you.
Always,
Good
Glenn.
to see you again, man.
Good to see you.
Appreciate all of you for joining us. Thanks to Paul Garza and his entire team. Congratulations again to both teams. An outstanding season for Archbishop Spalding, but a championship season at the JV level for Loyola Blakefield. For the entire crew, I am Glenn Clark. And your final score here today, in overtime, Loyola 8, Spalding 7. This has been the MIAA JV Championship game.